Okay guys, so I feel kind of bad that it's been about 3 weeks since I've given any kind of update or done a video on this car. And since then I've got quite a bit done. So I just kind of wanted to go over it so people don't get, left too far behind in the progress of this. Right now, so I pretty much got everything painted except the bumper here, which I can do that at a later date, not a big deal. Everything's painted, and what I'm doing right now is kind of doing fitment on the panels. I've got it pretty good. It took quite a while to get this even this close. I still don't have the hood quite flush with this panel over here. So the whole hood, if you can see, is a bigger gap here than here. So the whole hood needs to come over a little bit. You really can't move the fenders, so I got to move the hood over, and you got to kind of like flex the brackets a little bit to do that. But anyway, it's getting really close, and yeah, it's looking really good. So I've got everything shifted back over to my other side of the shop here, and put the other two cars over there where I was painting, kind of like disassembled my paint booth and all that. But in this video, what I want to show you guys is, so if you paint your car in your garage, or you paint it in like a little makeshift booth, there's really no way to get a really good finish doing it inside of like your garage or a makeshift booth, or even some people paint outside. Okay, there's really no way. You're going to get dirt, you're going to get little bugs flying in it. You're gonna get little imperfections in your paint. There's no way around it. Okay, so what you gotta do is you gotta get good at cutting and buffing, okay? So I wanted to just kind of go through what I use and the steps I go through in order to get a really good finish, okay? So you can kind of see that, I'll kind of see if I can give you a comparison here. The fenders, the hood is not touched at all. This is just the clear that came out of my little paint booth over there, my little makeshift paint booth. Okay, and we'll look at the reflection in the lights, and I think you can see, like, you see a dirt spot there, dirt spot there, there. You can just see it. It's all over it. Okay, so we have to get rid of that. That's not acceptable on what we're trying to do here, okay? And I'll give you a comparison to the doors and the rest of the body, because the doors and the rest of the body I've already done. All right, so I cleaned a little spot off here so we can do like a little comparison of what's been not cut and buffed and what has been cut and buffed or color sanded. There's a bunch of different terms for it. For, cutting the clear coat, getting out orange peel, whatever. It's whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So this has not been done. This has been done. So if you look at the lights, we'll just do a quick comparison like I just showed you. You see all the little dust bugs in there and all that, and you can see orange peel. And this is what I've already done, okay? I mean, look at the difference. Look how the light looks so clear. Okay, that's how you can tell. Look at your lights. So looking all around this spot, I only just cleaned this little spot here, but you can really tell. And then look at this. See how the wavy and the dust bugs compared to this. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to get it to look like that, okay? So I'm only going to do a small section because it's, it is time consuming. It's going to take time to do this. And I'll also show you guys how to get runs out too. There's a couple different ways you can get runs out. So there's a run right there, okay? If you look it up on YouTube, there's going to be people showing you how to put like body filler on it, and then you sand that down. I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to do it with a razor blade, okay? This works for me. I've done this many times and it works great. So you can't worry about damaging it, because you got to remember that if you have a run like this, that's a lot of clear coat. So you're not going to break through it and damage the paint. So what we're going to do, if I can do this with one hand. Get you a brand new blade. You got to use brand new because you're using the back side of the blade, so it's got to be sharp. And you're going to carefully take your time. See if I can show this. If y'all can see that. We're just going to come on top of it and start scraping. You want your blade angled this way. You don't want to cut like, you don't want to do this. You want it like backwards, and you're using the back of the blade, okay? And you're gonna see it start to just flake off, okay? You might touch up here and here, that's fine. It's not a big deal, you're not gonna break through, okay? Don't worry about that. Pretty soon you're gonna get to the point where it's gonna start getting wider and wider. See that? Hopefully this is coming out. I don't know. I'm trying to get this captured here on video. It's not easy. Some people don't like doing this because they think they're damaging their fresh paint job, but you're not, okay? And I'm gonna show you why in a sec. So we'll just keep going. You won't damage it if you're coming this way. If you go this way, it's gonna gouge it, and it's gonna go right to the go down to the base coat, and you don't want that. And get you a whole pack of these. Get a whole bunch, get like 100 of them, because once this wears out, switch it out. They're real cheap. Go to Home Depot, 10 bucks. I mean, get you a whole bunch of them, okay? So we'll keep going here. So there's two runs. There was one here and one here. And then I can feel it. It's almost flat to the other clear coat, okay? Keep going, don't be afraid. All right. Once you get about here and it just feels like almost flush, not quite, a little bit more. So it also helps so I did 3 coats of clear on this so that I know that I have plenty of room to cut down and get to good, a good base, okay? So I'm not worried at all about breaking through. So that is pretty flat, okay? I can almost barely feel it. There's another little spot right here too, so I can catch that. Okay, that's gone. Maybe a little more. Okay, so at this point, we got it right there, and we're gonna switch over to 1000 grit. This is the stuff I've been using. It works great. Where's it at? Duragold. Okay, this Duragold 1000 grit, and we're gonna do it wet. Okay, so you can do it dry, but I've noticed that it kind of, here's the part number for that. I've noticed that it clogs up way too quick if you do it dry. Okay. So I like to get a water bottle, put a hole in the end of the water bottle so you can kind of, squeeze it out and get you some lubrication on the sandpaper, okay? So I use a little block. Where's my little block? Right here, this little sponge here. And we'll get a piece. I've already got a piece here. Get your sponge and your block here. And you're gonna get a little water on it. A little water on your panel. You're gonna go crisscross, okay? So another thing you have to keep in mind, when you have a body line right here, this body line, don't sand your body line. Stay away from the body line. So in other words, don't keep your paper and your block flat to the flat surfaces. Don't ever come up on top of here and start sanding. It'll go through really quickly, okay? That's not what you wanna do. You wanna make sure you stay on the flat surfaces, okay? And keep it wet enough to where it's creating like a slurry, okay? And I even sometimes just drip it right in there and then go crisscross. Okay, this is the 1000 grit. I think I already mentioned that, but 1000 grit. It's messy, so be prepared to get messy. You know, don't wear your Sunday clothes, don't wear your church clothes or nothing. Make sure you wear pants that you know your wife's not gonna get mad at you if you ruin. So, and you just keep going. It would take you, okay, a long time to break through clear coat with this. So don't worry about that. And besides, if you do break through, you're gonna see it. It's gonna turn white immediately instead of like this kind of transparent slurry that you're creating. Crisscross is very important. I'm only doing this one little section here to show you guys because it would take too long to show you how to do a whole panel. So this is gonna be like a little 1 foot little area that we're doing. All right, guys, so now that we have that sanded with the 1000 grit, we're gonna switch over to the Trizact 1500, okay? I really like this stuff. It sets it up good for when you start to polish, okay? It gets it to the point where there's no scratches, because when you do your 1000 grit and you're going at a crosshatch type pattern, it'll leave those scratches in there. But this is going to get rid of that because it's on a random orbit sander, okay? So it's gonna be more of a uniform pattern that is gonna be easier to polish out, okay? So you're gonna wanna you can use an electric one or air one or whatever, and an intermediate pad, okay? So these are the 6-inch Trizact, and you know, I got my regular orbital sander from Harbor Freight, not too expensive. I got the intermediate pad. So this one has already been used. We're gonna take this one off of here. This is very important. You gotta have an intermediate pad, okay? Don't try to do it on just the flat, hard surface that, you know, comes with the sander. So let's see, same thing. We're gonna go ahead and, I think this is why I haven't been making videos lately, because it's a pain to try to hold the camera and show people how to do stuff. I get way more done if I'm just not filming and just doing. So anyway, so we got a fresh pad on there. These pads last quite a while. Like I could probably get this whole quarter panel here done with this one pad. So, you know, you can kind of figure on that. I bought a box of 50. The box of 50 would do probably 2 or 3 cars. All right, so same thing with this. You got to do it wet. You can't do it dry. It'll just clog it up. So you're gonna want to put a little water on it, a little water on your panel. Same thing. You do not want to go up onto the edge of your body line like this, okay? Don't do that. You do not need to cut your body line. All right, just up to it. So keep it flat right here. And the same thing, you see, you're gonna start to see this slurry. That's your clear coat, okay? That's what you wanna see. Just keep it lubricated. I do like the air orbital sander, but to tell you the truth, I wish I had an electric one because my air compressor can't keep up. So keep that in mind. All right, so it doesn't take very long. That stuff works really quick, especially if you've already done it with 1,000, okay? If you can do this without going from the 1,000 to the 1,500. You can do it with the 1,500 only, but it takes much longer, okay? So what you're looking for is you just want it to look uniform, okay? You know, put your hand on it, feel it. It's gonna feel really smooth compared to anywhere else. You're gonna feel all the dirt nibs up here, but you don't feel anything here, okay? I'll go a little bit longer. And you also want to keep an eye on your paper, so kind of glance at it every once in a while. Make sure there's nothing large in there. Like if a large chunk falls off, it'll start making like curlicues in your clear coat, and then you have to get that out, okay? So just keep an eye on that. The water really helps. When you keep it lubricated, that usually doesn't happen. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with the buffer on this. Now, normally I wouldn't do this. I would do the whole entire panel before I even started buffing, okay? But I'm doing this just to kind of show you guys how to do it and not take up your entire day. Okay, so here's the rubbing compound I'm using. This is the 3M Perfected 36060. So if you guys wanna order it, I'm not gonna put any links in the description, just you can Google all this stuff, okay? Let's see. So my pad here, I buffed something not a couple days ago, so I still have a little bit of compound in the pad, which is okay. You can leave it in there, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna wanna get it a little bit wet, not too wet. It's important not to get it too wet, because what will happen is you're gonna make a big sloppy mess and it's gonna go flying everywhere, and then it's a pain in the butt to get off, okay? So you want to kind of keep it just damp, I would say, like kind of damp. It's kind of hard to explain, but. And then shake up your compound a little bit. Put it on your pad, okay? That's actually probably a little bit too much, but hopefully y'all can see this. And then before you even start the buffer, kind of just rub it in by hand, okay? This will keep you from flinging it all over the place. And then put on your lowest setting. Whatever your lowest setting is, put it on there. So you can see the pattern I'm going crossways and then up and down. And I'm trying not to tilt the buffer too much. We will eventually, once we start gaining RPM, but right now what you're trying to do is work it into the clear coat, okay? Okay, so as I increase the RPM on this, I also decrease pressure, okay? You don't wanna heat the panel up. You wanna touch it, make sure it's not getting hot, okay? And then the slower the RPM, the more I push, okay? I'm really trying to, basically sand that clear coat, okay? To get it starting to buff out. And like I said, when the RPM goes up, I take a little pressure off of it and just kind of let the buffer do the work. So let's wipe it a little bit and see what we got. So just that little bit right there. And you can see, you see me in the reflection already. That was about 2 minutes of buffing, okay? So you can really see, if you look at the reflection of the window there, compared to this. So that's how you do it. That's pretty much it. So when you go to car shows and you see like amazing paint jobs, it's not really the painting part of it that makes it look so good. It's what you do after. It's this part of it is what really makes a paint job stand out, okay? So, and you can go as crazy as you want. Right now I could leave that panel alone. That's good, or that section of it. I'm gonna do the whole panel, but that section I could leave alone and do the rest of it. And then I put like this, a little wax on it. I like to use this ceramic polish as like a filler, just to kind of finish it off like I did here. I put a little bit of wax on it right before I showed you guys, and it's gonna look amazing. Now, with this system, with the 3M finishing system, it comes with other polishing. Like if you want to go like just the SEMA paint job to make it look amazing, there's other steps you can do. Okay, which I've found that it doesn't, you can go with, the step 2, which is the machine polish, right? And they have all different style buffers and all that. And then the last one would be the ultra fine machine polish. I don't find it necessary. Like, I can't see the difference. But if you're just going wild on it and you want to make your car look like, SEMA build and win trophies or whatever, by all means do that. But I'm just trying to show you guys the technique to get out, a paint job that has been done in your garage or outside or in an area where you're going to get dust. Okay. So, don't look at it like, when you're done painting it and it looks like a mess, don't be discouraged, because you can really, really make it look good by cutting and buffing it. Okay. So that's it. I'm just going to show you that, how to do it. It's really not that hard. I do prefer the wool over those pads that I just showed you over there. The wool seems to work much better and last longer. Okay. Those sponge pads seem to get clogged up, and I'm always having to clean them. So, but anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. It's getting really long. I've got this panel I'm going to do too. I need to put the window back in, put the wing on. Then we can mount this, and then this whole back section's done, because this has all been cut and buffed too. Okay, and so have the doors. I did the doors before I brought them over here. So yeah, it's basically just the front end I got to do. And then once I got it all cut and buffed, I'm going to take this back apart. Okay, because I need to make brackets and everything for the bumper. I got to get that all situated, and I'm going to take it back apart. I just put it together so that it's easier for me to buff. Okay. So anyway, guys, hope you learned something, and, get out there and work on yours and see if you can. I mean, even if your car was painted, let's say a few years ago, you can do this and really, really make your car look good. Okay. So anyway, that's going to do it. I'll check y'all later.